Hi, my name is Morgan Broussard, and I have a focus group comprised of 6 students, 2 Hispanic young ladies, 2 African American students, and 1 mixed racial student. And today we're going to actually be talking about if they could send their teacher to professional development, where would it be and why? So a lot of our discussion is going to come from them and things of that sort, okay? So, what would be your guys' ideal teacher?
Someone who is understanding and knows how to teach their subject.
What do you mean by knows how to teach their subject?
Like, is very knowledgeable, and you can go to them for any type of question and they are able to explain it to you in a manner in which you understand.
Oh. So it's more so that even though that they're really smart on their content, they have to know how to deliver it to you for you to understand.
Like, an ideal teacher is someone who like knows how to speak to children, because there's a lot of teachers who just stand and teach. Nobody really explains. A lot of teachers don't really explain. An ideal teacher would be somebody that's interactive, telling us, do we understand it? Actually asking us, do we understand it, not just moving on.
Yeah. Okay.
Step by step.
Step by step. Okay, good.
Kind of one-on-one.
Okay.
They'll explain it if you come confused.
Kind of confused, meaning what do you mean by that, like one-on-one? So like the teacher is walking around kind of giving feedback, things of that sort?
Feedback.
Okay. So what do you think now with your teachers? Do they give you enough feedback?
Some
Yeah. Sometimes we have to ask.
Yeah.
I think because we're in high school, they expect us to just, control everything.
Yeah.
But sometimes,
Okay.
so we have to ask a lot if we need help. Sometimes we don't want to say in front of everybody. Like one of my teachers, she comes around to the desk and asks us, is there a problem that we need? And that's an ideal teacher.
Okay.
Who helps us like that.
So is it sometimes you're working on a problem, do you just automatically want the teacher to see, okay, I'm a little confused, or would you rather just raise your hand and ask for the help?
Yeah, just raise your hand.
Just raise your hand and ask for the help? Okay.
Because they're not automatically supposed to know, oh, she needs help.
Yeah.
He needs help. You have to tell them directly.
Okay.
And you also have to tell what you're confused on or what you need help with.
Okay. So what would be some activities, some of your favorite activities that you've done in class that was kind of engaging?
When they do when we play Jeopardy before a test, that's good, because everybody gets their own chance, and it's like enough questions for everybody to get their own chance. And you want to answer because it's a game, but as you're answering it, you're learning and you're actually reviewing.
Okay.
I like that.
Good. So what are some other games that you guys like to play?
I had one that was different.
Okay.
It was an ELA, and it was just to understand the book. We did this game where she would say you would just randomly get out the book, you remember?
Yeah.
And she would say questions like, what would you not want to say on a date? And then you would she would give you a minute, and you would find a random word, and it just helped everybody to it made everybody want to read the book more, and it kind of gave everybody it made people understand it, wanted to understand.
Want to understand it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What would be? So let's focus on the teachers that maybe that's struggling in the area of engaging their students. If you could send them somewhere for them to learn how to engage you guys, what would you send them to? What would that class look like?
Maybe different stations. So if you don't know how to teach this, or you're having problems explaining this part, how to communicate with them, with the students.
Okay. So communicating is probably big for you guys. Yeah. So when you say communicate, does it mean communicate with you or communicate with your not your teachers, but your parents? Do you think a good teacher is good when she communicates to the parents?
Yes. Sometimes I feel like the relationship will go a lot further if maybe they contact you instead of threatening to your parents, because then you shut down. If they have that's good teachers are teachers who actually have one-on-one talks or understand kids mentally, and not just, or they're just a bad student, maybe something going on.
Okay.
A good teacher would be someone if you were to send them away somewhere, it would be how to handle kids or different problems that kids have at home, so they will understand them better or understand their behavior better.
Good. So what would you think is a good relationship with your teacher?
Like if I don't know, it's like something where like you'll be okay to talk to them or answer a question if they ask,
Hmm.
or something like if they just need help with something.
So you feel comfortable with the teacher. What would be your ideal relationship with your teacher?
Like a helpful teacher.
Okay.
They'll like go around and help you and like explain the situation.
Okay. So what happens, like, okay, you found this ideal teacher, you got the perfect relationship with them, you communicate with them all the time, and one day you just have like an ultimate bad day. Does that relationship just break down, or because you have a good relationship with them, it's kind of like a wash, like you're over it from that bad day, if that makes sense?
Like as soon as we see them,
Uh-huh.
our day brightens up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, probably feel like a little better.
Probably just depends.
Okay.
It's always,
I'll just be glad to be in that class
Yeah.
after that day.
Okay.
it's just like imagine if all teachers were like that for every class, how
Uh-huh.
many kids would probably go to school if we had all understanding teachers. in
Right.
every class.
That will
Yeah.
probably make for a better environment too,
Mhm.
right? So what about the teachers? Does anybody have any teachers that can automatically spot when you're having a bad day right when you walk in? The teacher knows.
I feel like I have some teachers that just don't care. Like if we're having a bad day, don't care to ask. Maybe I'm not hot, like on it today like I'm usually am, or not raising my hand. It's not really affecting them. It's just like if you're gonna try or not, And a lot of teachers even tell you like, I don't mind giving you 0 or stuff like that. That just
Mhm.
that doesn't encourage us. It's not pushing us to or motivating us. It's like holding us back.
Right.
I actually have a teacher that wants you, if he sees that you're having a bad day, he'll go to you and be like, explain to me why you have a bad day. So like, try to understand why you're having that bad day and try to help you out.
Right.
How to make it better.
So what would be some things that your teachers have motivated you in the past? Like that one teacher or maybe several teachers have motivated you to come in class and just really want to work hard to learn the material and things of that sort?
One of my choir teachers, she tells us like her struggles like that she had been through or what she going through that day, and she's still able to teach. So it makes it feel like, well, because I went through this doesn't mean I don't have to shut down. I can give my all and participate just as she came and participated, because she could have stayed quiet and been mad at everybody, but she just remained happy. So I can look at her and say, okay, well that's what I need to do. I don't have to be sad.
Mhm. So what if the teacher is having a bad day? Then what happens? Because you're having a good day and you walk in and the teacher is automatically like, okay, I'm not doing this today type thing.
Well, I mean, I won't say nothing to them.
But like,
Yeah, just try
some
to-
of them will take that energy and put it on you. Like,
Yeah.
But
Okay.
maybe if they tell us, not saying they have to tell us their business, but if they kind of tell us like, it's just not a good day for me. Like in 7th grade, one of my teachers lost her dog. She told us it was happening the day before. Because she had to put her dog away.
Yeah.
She told us it was happening the day before. She told us she was going to be sad, so we can understand her. But if she would
Yeah.
have just came in class and was just like, not talking, being mean, we wouldn't understand.
Yeah. Oh, I hate she lost her dog. Okay. How does a teacher make a lesson interesting? Like, do you feel that all lessons should be interesting, or there's gonna be times where they're not gonna be interesting?
There'll be times
I mean,
when
there
it's not
are
gonna
gonna
be-
be times when it's not.
But you don't have to be like all the time. Like one of my social studies teachers, with my social studies teacher in the 8th grade, it was totally different from my social studies teacher in 7th grade, because he was more like just and it's hard when teach us, especially like history, to be interactive. But she would like have us dress up, go in front of the class, and do like interact like the history that we're learning. That's better than just sitting in front of the class and we just have to listen. When you have kids interacting with you, then it's better.
Then it's better to interact.
More connection, like.
I mean, it definitely gets the attention of the class, but I don't think it being interesting is like, I don't think it has to be always. Sometimes you have to learn how to learn. It's like sometimes it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's valuable information, and sometimes, like, work is not going to be all fun and games. You have to get serious sometimes.
Right.
You just have to find a balance.
Yeah.
But I mean, it still helps out a lot.
Okay. Good. Now, what would be your worst teacher? Think about your worst teacher that you've ever had. What were some qualities that teacher displayed,
Well, I mean,
or
she
characteristics?
Well, she didn't listen or try to understand. Well, she didn't try to understand like this one student,
Mm-hmm.
and he was kind of confused on most stuff, and then she kind of made fun of him several times.
Oh no. So how did that student feel? Like, was he kind of?
Well, I mean, at the time it seemed like he really didn't care, but like he told me that he just didn't like her.
Like a teacher, I don't know, they think like we'll respect them more if they come off rude, or those teachers on the first day, like I'm just letting y'all know I don't play, like that's not, you know.
Really?
Yeah, it's not really necessary. Like I'll respect you more if a situation happened, you just show us, you know, you just telling us that, like, what is that? That's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, I have a teacher that if she explains it and I still don't understand it and I ask her, she'll be like, well, I already explained it. It's not my fault that you didn't understand it.
Yeah, like
Really?
you're here to teach us, so
Mhm.
we can like get an education, so we can understand. That's why we're here. And like, some people just don't understand as soon as they get it. And like, even for people who are in pre-AP, they're like, oh, well, you're supposed to like know it already. You're in an advanced class, but still, they're smart enough, but that doesn't mean that they can get it like that, like other
Right.
people can.
Right. What about you guys?
I had it in my head.
Okay, well, bring it back.
Okay, what was the question again?
Think about a teacher that did not display good qualities.
Okay, well, I had a teacher in 7th grade who was really, like, absurdly, extremely rude. She did not care about anyone. I had to do a project for her one time, and I just had to shake her hand, and she refused to shake my hand because she said she didn't know where my hands had been.
So she thought you had germs.
Yes, she thought I had germs.
Okay.
And I was really hurt by that.
Oh,
because
no.
I don't have germs. If it would have made her feel any better, I would have washed my hands, sanitized them. And
Did she say it in like a joking, in a joking way? Really?
Old lady.
Oh no.
Mean old lady.
That's why I don't understand, like, some teachers who get irritated fast with students. Like, you know, that's a job. You know,
Yeah.
you're dealing with kids, not really kids. I mean, we have a certain maturity level, but we're gonna make mistakes. Like, we're going to make mistakes. It's bound
Right.
to happen. You should just be trained to get that. And the teacher that I wouldn't want to have is somebody who does not understand that we're going to make mistakes. Or if you get on me, like, all the time about me, if I make a mistake, I'm gonna not feel accepted in that classroom, and I'm not gonna want to be there.
Yeah.
And that's gonna show on my grade.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't work with kids or like control them, or if you don't you can't tolerate them, then why are you a teacher?
Mhm.
Like,
Your job
That-
is to be interactive
Yeah.
with
Yes.
the students.
With the students.
And some teachers mostly just do it because they're getting paid. And they don't really care about how the students feel. They don't care about teaching them as well as they possibly could to their best abilities.
Okay.
Yes, like when they say, you can write this down or not, it doesn't affect me. I'm still getting my paycheck.
yeah, they do
Right.
say that.
And,
Really?
But and that's that's understandable. But you don't have.
But
to
that's
say
not
that.
that's not
Yeah,
really
keep it
motivating
to
y'all.
yourself.
But you don't have to say
Yeah.
that. Like, if you would be like, I want to see y'all succeed. I want y'all to write these notes down. And if there's a student that still doesn't do it, that's on them. But you don't have to tell them that. You just leave them be. But if you tell them like, hey, like, I want y'all to be successful. I want y'all to write this down. It's really going to help you. Maybe we can understand when you actually talk to us.
Yeah.
It's just like, well.
What if the teacher actually says that, but she's actually coming from a good place?
Well, a lot of times.
Like, you guys would probably think that she or he would be a hard teacher, as far as very stern in what he or she says, basically tough love. Can you guys pick the difference between tough love and just a teacher that's wanting to be negative all the time?
Yeah, the tough love one actually, like, I mean, even though they give you tough love, it seemed like you can tell that they still care about like your education. Like they'll still, like if you need help, I feel like some of them will like still help you, but
like also it's like if a lot of times I've been in situations where I feel a certain way, and I'm very like local, so maybe as a student, sometimes if you feel a certain way, just kind of talk to them, like after class or something. Like I'm trying, and I feel like you're like not paying enough attention to me, and I'm actually trying to better myself. Or if you call them, if they call you in class, I didn't like when they call me out of class. It kind of just hurt my feelings. If you kind of tell them, then they can fix it. But sometimes they can't fix something if they don't know what the problem is. So it goes like both ways.
I feel like in the difference to find out, it's like, because tough love, they'll like push you to do your work instead of saying it, well, oh well, that's on you.
That's on you. Yeah.
Some teachers just hand you the paper and you're like, you're working on it and you're like, we haven't even learned this. Like sometimes that happens, like you can't just give us
them paper
and just expect us to know this already.
So what about you? We haven't heard anything from you. What is like your, like if you could give the characteristics of a not so good teacher in the past or now?
Teachers who like teach the lesson and you don't understand it, and then they don't want to like teach it again, so they tell you that what you learn is what you learn.
Okay. So if we could send them somewhere so they can understand that they can't do that, what type of course would you send them to?
I would.
Communication development course.
Oh, communicate. Okay, explain. Communication development course. Okay.
This class or course would consist of teachers learning to develop with their communication skills so that they can better understand how children act, why children act a certain way, or how to teach certain things to different students, because not everyone's mind is alike. Everyone does have their own mind and everyone learns at different paces. Therefore, everyone would need to know how to assess situations differently.
That was a good answer.
Or I would, if it was up to me, like I would send each teacher with a bunch of like smaller kids. They can learn some patience.
Hey, give them some patience.
Like
okay.
Maybe if you start from like young age and you see you see their personality, and as they grow up, you can see, okay, well, I know what type of student this is because I've dealt with them when they were smaller. It's like like it's just because a lot of teachers, I feel like. And a lot of teachers don't want to deal with small kids. That's why they come to teach high school. But they don't understand, like, we're still learning. We're still not kids, not like young children, but we're still learning. And if they have patience if they can just have patience with us, so we can better understand, that would really just help so much.
Yeah, we make mistakes too.
You said what now?
I said, yeah, we make mistakes too.
Of course, everybody's human. Everybody is human.
It would be that, but they get frustrated very quickly.
With the teachers?
Yeah.
Do you think sometimes that stems because they have to prepare you for like the STAR test? So it's a lot of pressure coming from there, or maybe stemming from there, or maybe they have that one student in the back that just doesn't want to do anything at all.
It shows that they don't know how to handle it when they get frustrated, and they're just like,
especially.
So how would you think that the ideal teacher is supposed to handle that type of pressure or stress?
Try to like.
They're supposed to be more considerate about it. Like we're learning as we're going on, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are trying their best. And so I feel like.
I guess like
I never know how to finish it.
No, you're okay. You're okay. What you getting ready to say?
Like, if like one person doesn't want to try to do it, try to get them separately. Maybe they're embarrassed or they don't understand and they're afraid to speak out. And maybe tell them to come to tutorials to help them out a little bit more.
Okay.
because maybe they are a slow learner.
So how are the teachers compared to being in the classroom and tutorials? Do you see a different side of them in tutorials?
I feel like
All the
Okay.
teachers are nicer.
Nicer? Okay.
More relaxed and laid back.
it's like
Yeah.
they don't have that much pressure because I feel like at the same time it has something to do with the students because a lot of students they don't care and I can hear students talking and they'll be like watch what I'm about to do just to get a reaction out of a teacher and that affects like me trying to learn because now she's upset because she feel like nobody listening to her. One of my teachers told me she was like, if I don't get y'all 6th grades up, I can lose my job and y'all still don't care. You know, and like when she told me that, like they helped me.
That really
understand,
hurt you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
helped me understand like you know what I need to work hard because I'm not about to be talking and what I'm doing is affecting her like big. You know.
Yeah.
She has to go somewhere and provide for other people. So if maybe we can get us to understand that, or even like, I mean, this probably take forever, but if you put like, if you separate classes, like, well, people, how to say, well, here are people who want to learn, and here's people who don't. Maybe you have people who want to learn in the front, and people you know don't want to learn in the back or something, and you take them after school sometimes. You try to separate it so you know, so that you don't get like irritated as quickly, so you can actually teach a class without all those kids that who want a reaction out of the teacher.
Yeah.
It's because of everybody else.
Okay. So how do you think that the teachers on campus work together? Do you think they work well together?
Yes.
How do you? Okay.
It's like
Sometimes.
if they don't know how to get through one student, they'll ask another student like, I don't understand, I don't know what to do anymore, and they'll like, oh, just try to talk to them, and they like help each other out.
Help each other out. So you don't think so? Okay. Let me see. Well, here we go.
Cause my second period teacher, like some teachers like this near her classroom, they have drama with her. It's kind of like B. So like they don't work well together.
Okay. So how important is it that the teachers work well together?
It's important.
Very
that,
important.
like whatever move you have or whatever somebody else has done to you, you know, that affects how like that your move's gonna affect how you teach your class. It leading to how they receive what you're saying and their grades. Like everything is just like a cycle. And I know like some teachers feel like they look down on them, like maybe a real teacher from a teacher who is elective class, from a core class, like, oh well, you know, your class is not as important. Not as important as mine because, you know, maybe we have a test on this.
Okay.
But if all the teachers can look at everybody's importance, you know, like art, you know, people want to go far in art, they might not want to go far in reading. You know? So if they can understand, all right, well, this class can be important to certain people, then if they understand everybody importance, then it will go a lot good. Like they will understand better.
Okay.
I feel like if someone, if the teacher is having problems with another teacher, like not to show it in front of the students, because that's not right to, because some kids will pick up that as learning instead of the actual learning that we're supposed to learn.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Good. Now, I don't know. Somebody said something about the teacher just gives out worksheets. And what does the teacher do after that?
Do it.
So is she still walking around or did she go sit at her desk or? Huh. Okay. So how do you feel about that?
Or like, they like one of my teachers, he's a good teacher, but like he'll give us something to do. He'll give us something to read. And sometimes, even when I read something, that didn't mean I didn't do it. I read it, but I still need an explanation.
Yeah.
Or like, what is this gonna affect? What is this affect? Like extra information. I can't just read this and automatically, and now I have a test over it. I know what it's about.
Right.
But they expect us to do that, like.
Yeah,
Or like when they tell us to read in between the lines.
Okay.
It's hard to figure out.
Read between the lines. What do they mean by that?
Exactly.
Okay. What you got to say?
And sometimes they give us they time us, and for some people it's very hard, and so it's one of my teachers, she timed us and it's so quick, and it's everybody's not even finished, so it's she's not. I mean, of course she's a teacher, so she's gonna get it. She can literally go through that, but we're still learning, so we need more time to figure stuff out, and I think we can automatically get it just like that.
She's
Or-
not allowing you to reach you guys' full potential.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's like-
Okay.
It's especially that time when somebody telling me, even if I know it or not, I'm nervous because like I'm looking at
Yeah.
and they always like, or they give us like a warm up. Even a warm up, I kind of panic because like, oh, we got 3 minutes left. I'm
And
still
that-
not done answering.
Yeah,
I don't like.
And when you panic, it's like you're losing more time because you're more worried about how much time you have than
Yeah.
your actual work.
And you're
Yeah.
not, you're not focusing right. Because
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh, I need to hurry up. And
Like,
you're
oh,
just
dang,
like,
I
want
have
to get
5
something
minutes.
down.
Right. Oh no, that's crazy. So how about like if you're in an easy class and how does your teacher challenge you then?
Well, they really kind of don't, in a sense.
Okay.
Well, they try to teach us something new. Like, they try to give us a few steps, I guess,
Mhm.
and try to see if we can figure one thing, and they'll tell us if we're right or wrong. And
Okay.
if we're wrong, they'll explain it.
So do you like being challenged by your teachers?
Yes.
It's more like, or if a teacher teach questions before the lesson, I'm not teach questions, but they ask questions like something that we don't know, and we have to try to figure it out,
Mhm.
and they give like little hints like that. They make us want to learn more.
Okay. So that would be technically called differentiating a lesson. Well, not really differentiating. It'd be like scaffolding a lesson. So in other words, like say offense, you're pulling prior knowledge from something that you've learned maybe from 8th grade or maybe earlier in the year. That's pretty much what the teacher does. So do you like when the teacher does that, or do you just want them to just go ahead and just start the lesson and keep going?
I like when they do that.
Yeah.
Do you think you learn better when you?
because it stick with you, because you're like, well, what he said when I learned this.
Like, when they ask questions, yeah, like you said, that we've learned it before, and they try to bring it back.
Mhm.
Like, I guess kids like get into it and try to compete to answer the questions that she asks.
Mhm.
So all the kids like get into it, pay attention.
Okay. How big do you think atmosphere is? So like, say if it's the first day of school, you walk in, and you're like, oh man, this teacher has a really nice classroom. Or you walk into somebody else's classroom and it's like bare wall, it's just blue. And how does that make you feel? Do you think the setup of a room pretty much dictates how you're gonna do in that class or how you're feeling that day?
I think it depends on how long we've been in the class, because all my classes, no matter if it was decorated a lot or not, this first day of school, this first day of high school, everything looked big.
Okay.
Once we start getting used to it, it's not as.
You don't even notice
Yeah,
it
it's not-
anymore.
it's not-
What about you?
Wait, like, you're talking about like, let's say like a classroom is boring,
Mhm.
and so how do we feel when we like get in there?
Yeah.
I feel like some people, okay, when they go into like a classroom that's like very boring, they get like very sleepy and they don't feel like they want to learn because you know when you're not interested in something, then you don't pay attention as much.
Okay.
But like,
Oh, I kind of disagree on that. I feel like when there's not as much on the walls, that you'll concentrate better. Because if there's like bright colors and different pictures, you'll pay attention more to that than the actual lesson.
Oh, so you
I
might
guess
be
it
distracted.
depends.
Yes.
So it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's your expectations for your teachers?
That we can come to them whenever we need help,
Yeah.
and that they'll try their best to teach us what we need to know, so we can be better in the future.
Like, I don't really want a teacher that will get irritated if I ask a question, or like a teacher, to me like a teacher I want is if I have a question and they don't know, we look it up together.
Mhm.
You know, like somebody who interacted with me rather than just do it yourself.
Okay.
I want a teacher that that will be positive from the beginning of the class. Like some teachers won't, like their last class got her mad. Like,
Mhm.
I don't want her to bring it onto our class.
Okay.
We haven't done anything wrong.
Okay. What about like stereotypes? Do you think the teachers stereotype you like the first time they meet you?
Yeah.
And do you
They're
think?
like, oh, that person looks like they're gonna do something bad.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Do you think that
We have to watch
dictates?
them.
Do you think that dictates the rest of the year?
Yeah, it depends a lot. 'Cause
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
when I was in when I was in the 8th grade, I was in the counselor's office one time, and like when I was in there for a little bit, she was like kind of like looking at me like
Mhm.
funny, and I was just wondering like what did I do, and by the end of us having a conversation, she was just like, because people you hang around, I thought you were going to be like just this mean girl.
What?
And so she didn't really want to help me at first. And if she didn't help me and I would have went back to class with the same problems that I walked in there with,
Uh-huh.
and that would have just affected my whole class, like my grades.
Wow. Okay. What about you?
Oh, well, I don't think it dictates nothing really. Well, like the stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
Like some teachers might, but not all.
Mm-hmm. So if you guys could give advice to maybe a first year teacher, what would you tell them? Like they're well, good or bad. What to expect from you guys?
Be patient with us
Yes.
and communicate with us.
Mm-hmm.
And just like don't be afraid to like tell us what it is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
Well, tell it
Don't
like it is.
sugarcoat
it. Yeah.
Don't sugarcoat it.
yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
To show like, not to come out too strong,
Mm-hmm.
like as me,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's like, but not to be too nice, to hold their ground.
Okay.
Because it's some bad kids.
Yeah.
So it's some what?
It's some bad kids. Like, you just get rid for like bad kids. That's why you have to learn how to deal with kids from that was younger as they grow up.
Mhm.
So that you understand like some kids are like really like bad and they do stuff for reaction. So you have to
Mhm.
learn how to deal with that. If you learn how to deal with that, then the class will be.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. What about fairness in grading? Do you think teachers are fair when they grade, or they just grade just to grade, or
Not all teachers.
okay?
Because some I teach, well, at least one of them will like just be this one person that they beg for a higher grade and have an excuse, and then he give that person a higher grade. Well, at least a passing one.
So do you think that affects the relationships that you have with your teachers as well?
Yes.
Because
That's very unfair for the people who do their stuff.
yes,
Mhm.
like if like I do my if I'm always doing my work and I turn it in, it might have been like a packet.
Mhm.
So a lot of kids didn't do it, but since a lot of kids didn't do it, he can't put in zeros, so he just double counted it.
Mhm.
But I just spent all night working on this.
Yeah.
So it's like it's irritating because
So you didn't want to go and ask him maybe?
one time
You know.
that did happen, like it was a thing we were doing, and you're supposed to do 4 questions. And I did 4, and other people did 2. So
Mhm.
she just said, all right, well, I'm just gonna have everybody do 2. But I did not ask her. She said she'll give me extra credit for 2 that I actually did do. 'Cause
Okay.
I
That's because you had that relationship built with
did.
her.
Mhm.
Okay.
But I feel like sometimes they would do it fairly.
Mhm.
'Cause it does depend on how you act in class too.
Okay.
Because some people, I think they also grade on like how you participate and how you act.
Okay.
And I think that's fair for everybody. Because if you act like good,
Mhm.
then yeah, you'll have a good relationship with the teacher. So she'll help you out.
Mhm.
But I feel like if you're bad, also she'll try to help you out.
Mhm.
But she can't do much if you're not into the lessons
She can't
as
do
much.
what no one-
Yeah.
Right. Right.
If you're just like whatever, then she can't really do anything.
Okay. That's good. So what is there? Is there any other concerns that you would have with your teachers as of right now? Any concerns?
Not really being involved all the way. Like some of my teachers, they'll just give me like a worksheet,
Mhm.
and then when I'm done, you turn it in and do whatever you want for the rest of the class.
Do whatever the rest of you. What? For how long? Like how long? How much? How much more time do you have left in that class?
Well, usually she'll just give us like one worksheet front and back, and it's over something we've already done
Mhm.
in the class. Like we review one time, and then we'll start a paper over it.
Mhm.
Everyone finishes within the first 15 minutes, and you have the rest of the class.
Wow.
That
To
is true.
sit
Some
there.
classes do that.
So you think she needs to be more prepared for the kids that finish a little bit earlier than normal?
And not hand out like excessive work.
Uh huh.
I would prefer to be in a classroom where it's like an interactive conversation rather than just giving worksheets and then we done. All right, well, here go another worksheet, or when everybody done, then we have a discussion about the worksheet.
Mhm.
Or what's the hardest question that you know, what question you feel is the hardest?
Okay.
Stuff like that. It's just giving me a worksheet. It's not
So kind of like give you a worksheet, give you a little time to work on it, and then do it as a class. maybe after that. So what happens when the teacher allows that and then she notices that there are some kids that's just sitting there waiting to just get the answer?
I mean, I know some teachers, like, they'll say something about it, but they don't do nothing.
Or someone just point out like some kids like, okay, what did you get? So like, you know.
To get them to
Yeah.
kind of get on the ball.
My teacher, one of my teachers, on the board, she'll have a student answer, teacher answer, and student answer. We'll do, like, the teacher answers are what we do as a class, and then the students have to go to the board and do it themselves.
Okay.
So you don't really have time to not do it.
To not do
You
it.
have to go to the board.
Where they tell the class like, okay, I'm gonna ask one of y'all what's the answer. So everybody's like all nervous, like, oh, is she gonna pick me? Or is he gonna pick me? So
Yeah.
Or I
it's
think
like I might as well do it.
Might
I
as
think
well.
it's better like when the teacher actually goes around and checks
Okay.
your paper,
Uh-huh.
and if they see that you didn't do it, then they'll talk to you or try to help you out or
Okay.
do something to
Uh-huh.
get you to do it.
Good. So is there any other concerns that you have that you want to discuss about your teachers?
I don't like it when like teachers say okay, they teach you something new, and then the next day you learn something like something else new. It's like you don't even get time to like
Understand it?
yeah, and you're just like, oh, we're on another topic. I don't even really truly understand what we just learned.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
every single day.
does it sometimes kind of feed off of what you learned before? Or is it like just totally opposite of what you learned the day before?
We don't even understand what we learned before. So it's like,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
we just double confused.
So were they just talking too fast? Like what was going on when
They
they?
was like,
There's times when they give us like worksheets online, they're like, okay, do this online, then come back and tell me what you learned. But the online worksheet is so confusing because we haven't been talking about it. It's just like learning the subject on your own. And then you have to present to the class, and then it makes a person, whenever he calls on a certain person to present their information that they found,
Okay.
then the person feels intimidated because they really don't understand the lesson, and then they can become embarrassed in front of the class when they're presenting.
Okay.
or, like, I recently did a project, and my teacher was like, he didn't choose for everybody to go, but like, just some people go, and then instead of like, all right, what is this about? Oh, you know, this is what you did wrong, let me help you. It was more like, all right, well, look what they did wrong. Like, okay, they didn't do this, they didn't do this, they did this wrong.
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
Do you think it's some type of? You think it's a strategy behind why the teacher makes you go home, read a passage, and make you do the work, and then you come back and discuss it, or what you were talking about?
I think if they explain it why it's the reason, then we will. But to us, we usually go in there because we feel like teaching us something. But if you tell us like, all right, I'm just doing so I can help y'all better ourselves and we can progress in class instead of doing all the work in class, something like that. Then, all right, well, I can get where you're coming from.
Well, my third period teacher, he like it when we find the answers ourselves, like at home. And if you don't understand it, then he'll be like, it's kind of like your loss, or that you didn't try hard enough to do it.
To do your work.
Yeah.
I also have a teacher that like she's always focused on time, and she'll be like, oh, here are the notes. She'll read over the notes, but she won't go really into it.
In depth in it.
Yeah.
So it
And-
sounds like it's like a lot of time management.
Yeah, and it's like, what's the point of going fast if I'm not learning anything? Like, might as well go slow and actually get some of the stuff then.
Yeah.
And still go blank.
That's a good point. But you know, sometimes we don't have time. It's a lot of times we have 45-minute classes, and you know, sometimes going over certain things may take a longer time. So maybe that's probably why, you know, the teacher just give you the notes to kind of alleviate some more time or allocate more time.
But we're not allowed to take the notebook home.
Oh, you're not so. I don't have an answer for that. I don't. Okay. Well, I definitely thank you guys for having this little focus group, because it really opened my eyes to what I'm doing wrong as a teacher, as well as my colleagues. So me and my colleagues will probably sit down and talk about, you know, what we talked about here. But I do thank you guys.